Hello everyone, Reverend Deanna Cox here with our midweek reflection for January 4th. We are beginning this season of Epiphany on the 6th, on Friday, as well as celebration, the Orthodox celebration of Christmas Eve. And so that's what our midweek reflection is about this week. I'm Reverend Deanna Cox. I serve the United Church of Canada in the physical communities of Daysland, Killam, and Roseland, and this online community of DKR United. And so this is my midweek reflection. I was thinking about how we have services for like Blue Christmas and Lament and Light and the Longest Night, whatever you call them. We have these services that acknowledge that Christmas can be a very hard time of the year for some folks. That it's not always like the Hallmark cards and videos show where it's full of family and love and reconciliation. Christmas can be quite challenging. And so we have all those services that acknowledge that, but we have nothing that really acknowledges that January and the coming of the new year can also be a hard time for folks. Whether it's just the anticlimax of the abrupt ending of all Christmas festivities and gatherings and feasting, or whether it's the accumulation of the bills that we have acquired over the Christmas season, or whether it's the still the darkness in, like, physically we live in the northern hemisphere and it gets quite dark at night here. We've just passed the longest night of the year here, or even just the simple fact that we might be absolutely tired of the cold. I myself, I was thinking, it would be nice to record this outside like I often do, and I looked at the temperature and it said -20, and I kind of opened the door and I was like, no, I'm kind of sick of being cold. I'll stay in here. And so I've tried to pick this spot with the light coming in, because to me, the season of Epiphany is always like about the growing light, the return of the light. And so that's what I want to focus on this season, is being drawn to the light. The longest night of the year has come and gone, as I said, and slowly, for those of us who live in the northern hemisphere, our daylight is getting longer. And so as our physical light is growing, we're going to focus on growing our internal light as well. Lent is often, which is coming next, the lengthening of days, but we're going to start a bit early with the growing of the light. Our scriptures this week include the story of the Magi, which is the season of Epiphany. And Epiphany, for those of you who may not know, is the manifestation or the revealing of Christ, and is specifically the story of the Magi's visit. And it's like, through that story, it's like the birth of Jesus as as Emmanuel, God with us, is made known to the world. More than just the shepherds, it's this, people are starting to travel, and word is getting around, and they are coming to see this child. And so the divine role that Jesus is going to play is being acknowledged in the world. And so that's Epiphany. More than just a moment. And so we are going to hear the story of the Magi, who were hired by Herod to find this child that everyone claimed would be the next king. to change the world. And so Herod felt threatened by this. He didn't want a little child to take his throne. And so he sent the Magi to find the child and report back to him. And the Magi were intrigued enough to set out on the journey. And they found the Christ child and paid homage with their gifts, the famously known gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And then they decided that they would head home a different route because they didn't want to buy into Herod's whole scheme that he had. And when Herod finally found out what the Magi had done, and that he had been tricked, he was very angry, to say the least, and ordered the death of every newborn baby boy. And this wouldn't have been good for the newborn, he wasn't a baby at that time. He was probably 3-4 years old or more. But Joseph was warned in a dream by angels, residual from our angels among us. Joseph was warned in a dream that he, Mary, and Jesus were no longer safe. And so they flee to Egypt. And the other reading that we're going to hear this Sunday is a very possibly familiar passage from Isaiah 60. One that starts out, "Arise, your light has come," and says that thick shadows will cover the earth and all people, but the Lord will come. And so this week and throughout this coming series, we're going to talk about the things that we too might be fleeing from, the ways that we are driven away instead of being drawn into the warmth and light of God's love. And once we acknowledge these, we're going to embrace ways that we can arise and let our light shine, fill our hearts with God's love so that it can shine out into our lives and into the world around us. And so through these stories, I hear acknowledgement that this season can be hard. Acknowledgement that the future of our churches can feel uncertain. The problems of our lives and our world can be overwhelming at moments, but that we do not journey alone. So whether you tune in online via these midweek reflections or whether you join us in person, this Epiphany, may you be drawn to the light. Together, may we discuss ways that we can carry the light of the Christ child beyond Christmas, and ways that we can fill up our cups and let that light shine for the world to see. Because I truly believe that we have a great deal to offer. No matter our size or financial situation, we as a church have a profound wealth of gifts that we can share. We just have to get courageous enough to share them. And so with that, I'll leave you to ponder ways that you might be fleeing and ways that you might start to feel drawn to the light this week. And so, that's our midweek reflection for this week. And I've noticed, I hope it's recording, because as I move, the light and the shadow changes. So, which is an added bonus of technology. So, may you be drawn to the light this week. Take care and God bless. Bye.